right, welcome. We are the Trading Triangle. My name is Nate, and I've got Sean and Kay with me. And today we're going to be talking about Ortex. This is a sponsored video. We're getting free month access to Ortex, and it's a great platform that helps you out with just a ton of trading and investing information. So we wanted to bring that to you today and dive into it a little bit. So with that, Kay, I'm going to hand it over to you so you can walk us through and show us what to expect with Ortex.
Thank you, everybody. The website is public.ortex.com. They actually got a 2021 awards winner. I'm giving a little bit of background story. Ortex was very, very popular tool and was being used by a lot of YouTubers back in 2020 and 21 when we had that big AMC and GME run, especially during the meme stock, because a lot of folks talked about short interest in stocks. With that aside, what does Ortex actually do? So Ortex is a very interesting platform because it brings all different types of data sets into one platform. So you can see short interest, you can see insider information, analyst coverage, you can look at different type of index research. So just a lot of massive data that you can get on Ortex itself. Generally, you can join Ortex for free on the top right hand corner over here. The features will be limited because a lot of features are behind a paid wall, so you will have to sign up. And once you join, there will be an option that you can upgrade your account depending upon what kind of features you're looking for. There are two types of plans as well. Once you log in, you will see yourself right over here in the right hand side corner. As you can see, we are the Trading Triangle. Over here, you can change the theme. We are on the dark theme, but you can go light as well. Very nice, depending upon your personal preference. You can change settings. You can take a look at the help setting and all that stuff. So let's go back into the dark setting, unless you guys like the white.
No, that works for me.
This is the notification tab. Generally, once they enable it, you will start seeing that. Just a quick disclaimer, they also have a mobile app that you can use. You can download the mobile app. I will throw a screenshot right over here on the mobile app so you will be able to access it. So this is the first dashboard screen that you will see. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it's pretty straightforward. This is Ortex market commentary. So every main events, main news will be listed right on the left-hand side corner. This particular widget gives you quick description on what S&P 500 is up or down. It also tells you how that S&P 500 is broken down by market cap and the different categories within it. And they have a list of all the different type of stock exchanges, all the way going from Japan, Shanghai, FTSE, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of news article widgets over here. You can track the currencies here. You can even track crude oil and commodities. And then you do get a quick glance on the yields across different countries on the treasury bill as well. That is a very, very quick introduction on what Ortex is, how once you log in, how does it look like? And at this point of time, I want to kind of take a little bit of a step back and ask Nate, Sean, you guys have been using Ortex for about a month. What is your first impression on the tool?
Well, I'll jump right in and say that there is a ton of information. So if you're looking for like an all-in-one kind of encapsulating spot to go to with just tons of different data points and data information, I like Ortex for that for sure.
Yeah, and I think for me, the display of it as well, like I'm a bit more of a designer myself, to have this type of information displayed very nicely for you can see, you can interpret very well, and you can base your kind of trades around that kind of thing, at least from my perspective. So yeah, I just like the way it looks. It's very clean, very professional, and obviously all the information is there for you on the screen.
So if I may ask this question, what do you guys think this software is useful for? Is it somebody useful for a trader, investor, somewhere in the middle who does both?
So I think it does do both long-term investing and day trading, but I think for me personally, it looks a bit more towards the day trading side of things, just because the amount of information that's been displayed and been offered to you, it just tailors to that kind of short-term trading aspect for me.
Yeah, I would like it for both, honestly, and I think we'll get into some of the details here in a little bit, but I agree with Sean. It's largely going to help day traders with just the amount of information, short interest, insider information, got macro analysis, like just kind of runs the gamut. So good for both, really, though, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think I agree with both of your sentiments. And I think as just an investor or trader, you have to include all these different data elements into your thesis, whether you're doing trading or whether you're doing investing, whether you're looking at financial data, whether you're looking at technical data or technical charts. There's a ton of information on Ortex. All right, so moving on, our next feature. So what do we have over here? Just from the layout standpoint, on the left hand side, you see this hamburger menu. You click on that and then you start seeing a lot of information over here. These are major sections that you can go into at a broader level. At the top over here, there's a search bar there you can type any stock. So let's say I love Apple,
Who doesn't love Apple?
who doesn't love Apple, right? So you click on Apple, and on the search bar, it pops up Apple, and there's a lot of information over here. But before we touch on that, why don't we actually go back over here? And I'm going to start with Sean first. Sean, you have been using this tool for a month now. What are some of your favorites? And then we can go into those, and then we'll touch upon the details a little bit later.
Yeah, of course. I think my first one, if you head down to the events one, which is the first arrow, and you go to company events. So sometimes when you see these pictures of earnings, all on Twitter, for example, or X, and you have just a few companies on a certain day. So if we go into the top right corner with the little filter tab there, if you pop into the results/earnings, and then there you go. So you can scroll through, obviously a bit of a quiet period of earnings at the moment at the time of filming. But if you go into each day, you can scroll up and down each day, and you can see all of the earnings happening on that day. And you can see your favorite companies, all different sectors, etc. So that's one point I do like about this website. It just gives you a bit more of a deeper look into the earnings that are happening. And obviously, me being a breakout trader, I like earnings reports.
Nate, what about you? Have you seen this feature on the tool? What are your first impressions on this particular feature?
Yeah, massively helpful getting all of this information just easily scrollable. Just like Sean said, giving you all that earnings data right at your fingertips. And it's really easy to read and access. So yeah, I'm right there with you.
And one interesting piece is that you can click one of these buttons and it takes you to a different page and gives you even more information. For a lot of folks, it could be no information overload, but this just goes to show that the tool itself is very, very robust and can provide and meet a different type of needs for all different types of investors and traders. All right, Sean, what is the next feature that you like so much on this tool?
So this one would be the stock scores, which is just below the arrows there. If you click on that, and you can see lots of nice little graphs. Again, my kind of design side is coming out here. But if you head to the top right again for the filter tab, and if you go to filter by momentum, and if you drag the lower circle up to kind of 70 plus, and then obviously that'll update naturally, so you don't have to press any OK, it'll just happen for you. If you click back onto the main page, and what I like to do is sort it by quality. So if you head over to the quality tab and just click it, I think it brings up the lower quality first, but if you click it again, it'll bring up the higher quality stocks. And then what I do from this point is kind of scroll down, and you can see the value tab kind of slowly going up. So if you keep scrolling, and you'll eventually see some green value stocks. And there you go, there's two there. So for that, I can't see the name of them, but the various sites there and the concepts, I believe. These are just tickers I would just write down, and then I'll just accumulate 5 to 10 of them and just head into the charts and have a look at the charts for these stocks. It just gives me those ideas so I can have a look at some setups, just because the momentum is behind these stocks, and obviously the value of the stock is also quite high as well. So it gives you that kind of stability within your pick, straight from the off. So that's how I look for the stocks there.
So seems like that you can use this feature to build your watch list for the day, I guess, for the day or for the week. Is that something you would be using this for?
Exactly right, yeah. So for the day, the week, I mean, for me personally, I'm swing trading at the moment, so I've been looking for a bit more long-term setups. But it really is versatile. You can see it for smaller time frames and obviously medium time frames, even long-term investing. You can get some pretty good stocks from this. I haven't found one myself, but obviously there is the anticipation that you can do so. So yeah, I really like this bit.
This is interesting, Nate. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I love this. And I like to take it even further and use it in conjunction with other pieces in Ortex, right? So using this to find different names, and then, looking in those names and trying to understand insider information, for example, and understanding what's going on there.
This is a great segue to get right into the insider information. Tell me about the stock that you would love to know about insider information for.
Let's look at SoFi, for example, because I know there's a lot of activity within SoFi and their leadership as far as buying and selling. And you can get a lot of that information right in here, right where you're going, Kay.
Exactly. So as you type the SoFi in the search bar, a SoFi window pops up over here, a lot of information. Nate, which one do you want to start off with? You want to start with insiders?
Yeah, let's look at it. Yeah, a lot of data points here, right? You can see the insiders are active for SoFi. And that's all interesting as a trader, right? Because you can see where there's some buying and if there's conviction. And conversely, if the insiders are selling and maybe there's not some great news on the horizon. I like to use this information quite a bit for my trades.
That's amazing. Sean, what do you think about this particular piece of the puzzle?
I think this one for me is having a look at the high level executives in different companies. So if CEOs are selling, the COOs are selling, this is where I want to see it. And if they are selling, for example, obviously I want to see why, and then I'll dive into the news tab, etc.
And just for the folks, if you look at this, like very daunting because there's just a lot of stuff on this, but it's pretty straightforward. The first widget kind of tells you the momentum, and you can break it down between 1 month and 12 months, gives you how many buys and sells are. On the right hand side, this basically also gives you the similar information, but kind of talks to you about from a holding standpoint. And then the widget below gives you the exact names of the people who have bought or sold, when did they buy and sell, how much did they buy and sell. And the right hand side is basically just the stock price, and they are charting the stock price against the buy and sell. So generally you will see a lot of people selling when the stock goes up, and they will be buying when the stock goes down. It's pretty straightforward. Which other piece you generally tend to use, Nate, in your trading analysis from these different tabs that we have?
So one piece that stood out to me, because I don't see it in a lot of other areas, is ETFs. So as far as analysis on ETFs, there's a great section in Ortex to take a look at that, get an understanding of what holdings are within the ETFs and what momentum is being gained or lost, and just kind of overall direction for different options you have in the ETF landscape.
You made a very interesting point, Nate, here, because what I have noticed that generally we tend to go to different types of websites to find ETFs holdings. Either you have to go to the company that has actually launched that ETF, or you can go to some third-party websites to get that information. They even have short interest over here for each of the ETFs. That's pretty interesting. I did not know about short interest on ETF. All right, so let's take a look at one of the most popular ETFs, which is XLK, since we love trading technology stocks.
Right, so you can jump in here and just kind of get an idea of historic, how the performance has been historically, what's going on within the fund, what the holdings look like, and just a broader picture of the ETF in general. And so I just don't see a lot of great, robust analysis around ETFs, short interest and all the rest. And this is a great spot to find it.
Exactly. And there's a lot more data on the short interest over here. Once you connect your options account over here, you can actually start seeing option data as well. And then, of course, there is corporate action. As the actions are being taken, you will see listing over here. So when you choose a stock, you will see the corporate action listed over here. Brings all these different data points into one platform. You can look at the analyst prediction on different ratings, buy and sell. You can look at the price chart, all these different mapping around here. You can also see the holders who are holding the SoFi stock. This tells you the biggest holders of SoFi stock or any stock in general. You have options that we touch upon. If the stock gives you dividends, you will have the dividend data listed here as well. Since SoFi is not the dividend stock, it's not listed. You see the fundamental analysis. You have events over here. Just a lot of stuff on the platform. And I think we can probably go on and on and on for about an hour to make a video on each and every single tab. But this is in general, we wanted to show you what this tool can do. There's a lot of data information here. Any last thoughts that you have before we jump into the next section of Nate, Sean?
Yeah, I like that it's a lot of information all in one spot. And as a trader, I don't have time to be jumping from one app to another, one platform to another. I like to be able to just stay within one, site, for example. And Ortex provides all of the information I really need and without having to jump around. And so because of that, I find that to be hugely advantageous and makes me a more efficient trader.
Yeah, exactly the same. Hit the nail on the head there, Nate.
I want to touch upon one additional feature that Ortex also has, a mobile app. You can download through App Store or Google Play Store. And also you can reach out to their support for any question. The support is fantastic. Generally respond within 24 hours. On the weekends, you may see a little bit more delays, but responses are pretty fast. Would you be recommending this software to traders and investors? We'll start off with Nate first, then Sean, and then I'll give you my take on it.
I think if you're a savvy trader and you understand, what the data you're looking for, there's a lot of it here to go through, and I think you'll thoroughly enjoy it. If data is your thing, and I think as a trader and investor, data should be your thing, and that's what I like about Ortex. There's plenty of it.
Yeah, touching on that data, I think it's also important to kind of interpret it in a more visual sense. So you've got all these kind of nice, obviously colors, very nice columns. It sounds a bit kind of superficial perhaps, but it's just how I look at the platform itself. Is I get on with it quite well just because it looks great and it helps me kind of understand the data even more than some other websites perhaps.
And I'm just going to wrap it up by saying that if you are a beginner investor or a beginner trader, this might feel overwhelming to you. So you might want to take it slowly, maybe try opening a free account and see how it goes. And if you like what you see, maybe you can upgrade it. With that said, this was our review for Ortex. Thank you for all of you for watching. Hopefully you liked it. If you have any questions about Ortex, make sure you drop in the comment. We will be more than happy to answer them. And if you want to learn more about Ortex, jump onto their website, reach out to them, open a free account, test out the software yourself to give it a shot. Anything last words, Nate and Sean?
Well, thanks, Kay. It's great stuff. Appreciate you introducing us to Ortex.
Thank you so much, everybody. Talk to you next time.